Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players. This is Andy Teshordo. Today I'm going to be talking about Darth Nihilus. Now, the reason why I want to talk about him is I feel like he needs a rework. You're like, what? Yes, he needs a rework. Not his basic, his AoE, or his Annihilator unique. It's his leadership. His leadership, I feel like, is underwhelming. It needs to be a little bit better on par so that it's actually more viable in the arena. Back when it first came out, you'd see some Darth Nihilus leaderships in the arena to combat Darth Maul and Rex-led teams, because all those teams are based on critical hits. Of course, Darth Maul also had the evasion, which would give stealth. So, it goes both ways. That one was kind of a slight counter. It wasn't a full counter to like Rex. But nowadays it's just underwhelming. It's just not a very viable ability unless you use it in you don't even have to Zeta this thing, and you can do a really good job with a good Sith team under Darth Nihilus in the Galactic War. Mainly because a lot of the times you're just going to be healing all that damage back. You don't have to worry about getting your protection back. It's really nice. It's really nice. So I'm just going to talk quickly about some thoughts that I have on improving Strength of the Void. So Darth Nihilus' leadership says Sith allies have 60% offense, 150% health steal. They lose all protection and gain it that much into help max health. So all their protection becomes health. Sith allies are immune to healing effects that aren't health steal and can't score critical hits. That is a common thing. So that's kind of a cool ability. Don't get me wrong. It's a really cool effect. But for the most part, it looks good on paper. I'll put it that way. Like if you watch all these live streams that the Game Changers have, they have some requests for trying a Darth Nihilus led team. And most, if not all, the Darth Nihilus led teams just fall flat just because they're not doing the damage output, because they have lost that critical hit damage. So here's a few, and plus they also fall short pretty quickly, because under Darth Nihilus led teams, especially like counter characters like Count Dooku and Sith Trooper, which are two great characters to throw under a Darth Nihilus led team. They just, if they get stunned, shocked, or healing immunity, it's over. It's over. They can't do squat, especially if they're stunned. Yes, I know there's question of running Traya and that team, and I thought that was going to be a viable team as well, once Traya came out. But unfortunately, Traya did not give that satisfaction, and her Saber Storm hits even less than what it would normally do on a normal basis. So yeah, it's kind of sad. So here's my thoughts on improving this Strength of Void. First and foremost, it only is giving 2 bonus stats: health steal and offense. Some leaderships give at least a max of 3. I feel like just to make this leadership better, I feel like updating 1, so taking the 60 to either 75 or 100% offense, just to give that oomph to get over the humps and hills. The second is adding a few defensive qualities to improving this leadership. One being critical avoidance. I say throw 50% critical avoidance. I know Treya's leadership has 40, but with this character, I feel like if you're going to get rid of your critical hits, at least make it so that they don't critically hit you as much. So 50% critical avoidance is huge. I know you could theoretically do what General Grievous's leadership is, throw that onto Darth Nihilus, and that could help a little bit as well. Except maybe taking it to 30% on each, negative 30% critical chance, negative 30% critical damage. There is question you could do that. But I'm not aiming for, I'm not suggesting those, but they could help. The next is definitely adding more health on the character. So an extra 25 to 40% health will help these characters out because everything is going into health. So giving the team an extra boost in health is game changing right there. It'll allow them to, soak up more hits. But those are stat bases. I feel also, since some characters do actually use critical, or not critical, health immunity, healing immunity, I feel like maybe giving Sith, I don't know, maybe having them any Sith under Darth Nihilus' leadership immune to health immunity or healing immunity, just so that it gives them a fighting chance, because they just don't have that fighting chance. Of course, yes, Jedi training Rey's healing immunity will probably go through, but I'm talking about ones like Anakin Skywalker's basic, IG-88 applies it. There's quite a few different characters that actually apply healing immunity. So making them at least immune to that can help them better push through the have a little more survivability. Shock, I wouldn't have them immune to shock, just because dark side versus dark side, it wouldn't really be immune to that. They'd be more immune to light, or kind of like how they changed Yoda to being immune to shock damage. But that's when he's leader, which is kind of weird. So, those are just a few things that the developers can possibly improve Darth Nihilus' leadership. Now, I could say this for sure when I mentioned Grievous. Yes, I feel like General Grievous's rework would be way better and more beneficial than Darth Nihilus's. I was even thinking Darth Nihilus' leadership would be reworked when when the rest of the Triumvirate came out in February. Nope, he didn't get touched at all, except changing of the names of Strength of Void and Lord of Hunger. They swapped those names around, and they improved and added some linkage to Traya and Nihilus and Scion, so that the Triumvirate worked together. Outside of that, I feel like that is really what Darth Nihilus needs to allow his leadership to work. That way you can run a Triumvirate lead under a very obvious viable Traya, or you could swap it for Nihilus depending on the team you're facing, because Rex-led teams are still going to be around. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts. Again, I know there's other characters that could better benefit from a rework. I get that. Like having General Kenobi getting his Zetas, Chase getting their Zetas, Rex getting some Zetas, maybe Rex getting a unique where he gets more health and protection. Yeah. There's just General Grievous. Yeah, he just needs his Zetas. He just needs Zetas and a whole huge rework. Some of it maybe not. So, again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like the idea of improving Strength of Void in the near future, maybe next February? But yeah, that's just my thoughts. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate all those that watch my videos, and you have a wonderful day.